What's up, guys? MMA Game here, bringing you another video. This video, we're using Nate Diaz going up against Tony Ferguson. This is ranked match. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to head kick that like button. Here we go. Again, we are going up against Tony Ferguson. He's a fighter who's, it's always hard to seem to even knock him out or get any damage done to him. He's very durable. So, and he's also, you know, someone you want to kind of wait and not just rush to try to finish, because he can throw some wild combos and crazy stuff at you from all angles. So you got to be real careful when you're going up against El Cucuy. But look at that, Nate Diaz taunting him, trying to get in his head, I used a lot of taunts in this fight. I was trying to fight like how Nate Diaz would really fight, and I tried to also use those taunts to get in my opponent's head. And I do actually prefer the fighters who have taunts, especially like the hands behind the back. It's cool that they gave that to like Michael Bisping. Connor has it, of course. Let me know if you guys know any other fighters who have any of those cool taunts, because I always like to use those types of fighters. But right off the bat, I rock him, put him into the fence, and we're just pointing at him right here. He's got to be careful. Look at that. And also the other thing that doing taunts does, if you guys didn't know it, it makes him taunt. And when you can make your opponent taunt, you can knock him out if you time it right. But he rocks me right there. But Nate Diaz is very, very durable. He's got a great chin from what I've experienced playing him in the game. So he can take a few rocks. But all in all, Nate Diaz is probably one of the, I would say, best fighters in the division for sure. I don't know about in the whole game, but if you really think about it, he's got really good boxing and good ground. But the thing with his ground is that he doesn't really have the explosive, quick takedown stats to really get people to the ground, especially at a high level. It might be a little bit challenging. You might have to work some clinches. But what I like to do is actually try to use my boxing to knock him down, to get on top of him on the ground. And then once you got him on the ground, you can work that jiu-jitsu. He's got great transitions and also really good chokes, submissions. He's got the rubber guard. So I like using him on the ground, but just sometimes the way this game is, it's definitely more stand-up based. It's sometimes a little bit challenging to get it to the ground. And I don't even remember if this fight was actually before or after the patch. I think this is after the patch, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, it was a good fight. I'm pretty sure this actually is after the patch. It just seems like it is. But we're putting the pressure on El Cucuy. But both of our staminas are dropping down a decent amount. We've been very active in this first round, back and forth, throwing a lot of strikes, and that is what's going to eat that stamina. I've been trying to think of new ways, and I've been trying to conserve my stamina more and more, and it definitely depends on the fighter a lot, which I'm really, I think that the stats, I think it's the endurance stat, pretty much. And also there's striking stamina and grappling stamina. So, but I just think some fighters lose stamina way too quickly, especially like if they get rocked or something. Right here we rock each other, and that's the end of round number 1. But I just think some fighters just lose their stamina too quick. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree. There's fighters that are very good with stamina, but some it just seems like, I don't know. But anyway, we are in round number 2. We're trying to get some damage here with Nate Diaz. Look at these uppercuts. He keeps ducking, he keeps swaying, and I'm just looking to see which way he goes, but then he rocks me. But it wasn't really like a bad rock that really damaged my head. It was sort of just like rocked me, so I was able to recover right there. But all these rocks will take your stamina down, so that's a whole new dynamic in the game where you have to be careful about, you know, getting rocked too much and just going into a crazy fight, because if you get rocked too much, it's kind of crazy, like the differences in stamina that can actually happen in the game now, which it's kind of fun, but you can just get such a lead on people where it's almost like demoralizing, and you know, I don't know, they really can't do anything when they're so it's pretty crazy, but it's cool that you can do that. I mean, you couldn't really do that in any of the past games. So it's kind of cool, and it's just really cool just to, I mean, they still have a chance of knocking you out if they land the right shot. As you saw in my previous video, if you watched that Gohan Saki video, I was just down and out, no stamina, but you can still find a way, especially if it goes into deep waters. And so that's the crazy thing about this game. I mean, this guy he's still in it to win it. We're going back and forth. It's a pretty good fight right here. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do to get this guy out of here. I'm really just trying to attack his stamina. If you notice, I'm going for those body shots now, backing up, trying to get that lead jab, you know, going with Nate Diaz. He's got the beautiful 1-2, so fast, but, you know, backing up into the fence. I tend to put myself up against the fence a little bit too much, I think. But I rock him right there. Big shots to the body, backing up, El Kukui. And at this point, it's a snowball effect with his stamina. Check it out. His stamina starts to just drop and drop and drop. And I actually think it drops a little bit too fast. Possibly. I mean, he's throwing crazy haymakers, so maybe not. But, I mean, he is just wasting everything. So I'm just sitting there being patient, like 20 seconds. I'm already thinking about third round. I'm just like, maybe I can get him more damage in the second round. But he's really hurt right here. 17 seconds left. I don't want to point right in his face, but I definitely, with my stamina levels right here and being rocked multiple times, I don't want to get too carried away. That's one thing that you guys have to learn. I mean, I learned it the hard way in multiple fights, that if you get carried away and try to rush your opponent, then you can get knocked out clean. And so I would just really be careful about that. But right there, boom. Knock him down. He gets back up. That was a nasty straight. And here we knock him down again for round 3. And it's just over with Nate Diaz. Pretty easy work right there from the boxing from Nate Diaz. I'm getting used to the speed. I mean, you can throw combos at such speed. You have to press a button so fast with Nate Diaz, and you can barely even keep up. You have to be like, you pretty much have to do training and go to the gym with your thumbs to get it to move super fast for those combos. Boop, 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 boop. Take it into practice mode, you know, become a maniac with your thumbs. I mean, hitting all types of button combinations. It's pretty insane. So the skill gap in this game, especially after this patch, I'm very happy with it. It seems like it's a lot harder. You have to think about more like variables at once. The game at this point is pretty complex. It's one of the more complex games I think that I've seen, like with everything that's happening. You know, not compared to, like, I'm talking about like fighting games. So yeah, this is the next fight here. I'm going up against Khabib. We're just trading shots. He was standing in front of me for a second, which he quickly figured out that wasn't a good idea to do against Nate Diaz. I'm wasting a little bit too much stamina. I got a little bit too carried away in this fight. I don't know what it is when I fight Khabib. I just want to just punch his face off. Like, I don't know. Khabib players, I mean, no offense, but he's just so cheese. I mean, his stand-up's good, his takedowns are good, his ground's good. I mean, he's pretty much, I would say, arguably the best player in the game, stats-wise, all around. You could probably definitely make a case that he's the best fighter in the game. I would say he's the cheesiest fighter, one of the cheesiest fighters, but they did fix the ground, and so he's not nearly as bad. I will say that. So I'm definitely happy about that. But I don't really have too much of a problem with Khabib. I don't have too much of a problem beating him. As you can see right there, I get that beautiful arm catch into mount sweep right there. But he's getting out. This is where, you know, I like to be with Nate Diaz on the ground. I like using his jiu-jitsu in his ground. He can get ground and pound right here, as you can see, getting some crazy ground and pound from half guard, top, a very great position. I really like that position. I like trying to get some big damage while you're postured up. You got to be careful of the transitions. But right here, we're just controlling him on the mount. We're waiting to see what he does, and he gets the transition. We missed the deny. He gets to the back, but we are just chilling, staying calm. We're not even blocking right there. We're just waiting for him. Why? What is he going to do? And then right when he goes, that's when we go for our transition. We get the transition back into guard. And this is where we want to be with Nate Diaz. He's got a lot of options in guard, but we choose to kick him off. End of round number 1. About 30 seconds left. Nate Diaz. And he does the right thing with Khabib. He goes for the clinch. And he starts to work those knees, but he doesn't get anything done. And then he gets that beautiful, huge takedown to side control. And I really, really like what they did with the patch with the knees and the clinch. Even in the middle of the octagon or up against the cage, I really think the clinch knees are at a good, non-cheesy state that I'm very, very pleased with, especially compared to what we're coming from UFC 2. So a big thank you to EA for that. Let me know what you guys think. If what is any cheese that you think is remained in the game. I mean, here we go right here. Check this out. New move, baby. He puts me up against a fence, but it's all... That's not a good idea up against Nate Diaz. He grabs the neck. That is a new transition. I mean, a new position and a new option that you can do. Submission from that side cage position. Nate Diaz got that choke in deep, and he taps out after going for the takedown on the cage. Beautiful, beautiful fight right there. I will be bringing some more fights with Nate Diaz as well as Nick Diaz. Let me know who else you want to see in future video, guys. Big thank you again for all the support. Make sure to follow me on Twitch TV and Twitter. Till next time, this has been MMA Game. Peace.